Actually, this is the time of year that we look forward to. You know, the fall is always a frustrating time for me because the student contact hours or the time you get to spend around your team is limited, I think, for all of us coaches. And we get to have the fall period of time, and then they go away for a while, essentially. And now is what every baseball coach or every coach looks forward to, the grind, the preparation, the excitement, the fundamentals, the time spent with the players that are trying to maximize their potential. And it makes you really busy, but as I tell my team all the time, the busiest that any coach is when you get to go to the national championship. And I've been fortunate enough to coach in Omaha, and it gets busy with cameras and questions and maybe distractions, if you will, but like I said, please make me the busiest coach in the world, because it's a good busy, and that's the way I would describe this as well.
This team have those years, you guys didn't really have that many expectations, you know, a startup program and everything, and now it seems like I look at the different polls, I look at power rankings, and there's Oregon. One guy had you at number 2. I mean, there's a different expectation level, it seems, this year.
Yeah, my boss is around here somewhere, so keep that down, that we're supposed to be good. And no, I mean, that was the mission when we came up here, is to build a legitimate baseball program to operate at the highest level nationally. And I think we're a little ahead of the curve, and we've arrived. Certainly the polls and the expectations based on how we did last year and the building block of that and the recruiting classes puts us in a situation where this is what, like I said about Omaha, this is what you work your rear end off to get to, and now the pressure of fulfilling those expectations is a different animal. And it's the environment I'm comfortable with, and it makes you a little anxious going into it that you fulfill those expectations. But like I tell my players, when you go to the College World Series and you get nervous, what are you nervous about? You've worked your whole life to make this happen. Well, I'd say the same thing about the expectations. Is a lot of people in a lot of different areas have worked to put us in this situation where we're now respected nationally, and now it's our obligation to fulfill those expectations, and I embrace that.
Coach, like you mentioned, you're a bit ahead of the curve in terms of what the expectations might have been for the program at this point. What has been the draw for this program in terms of recruiting? How have you been able to bring these fine young men in and do what you're doing with these guys?
Well, it starts with a great education, you know, and you go across the river and you can look into those parents' eyes and the kids' eyes and tell them that you're going to get a great education here at the University of Oregon. And I mean, look around the facilities, the Jaquith Center, the basketball arena, PK Park, the Casanova Center, our facilities and the student athlete experience, thanks to Mr. Knight and our administration and President LaRiviere, have put a situation for coaches and players where this is a good place to go to work on an everyday basis. And then there's some credibility with the staff and the fact that myself and my staff have been there before, and we think that our reputation out there is that we develop good baseball teams, good human beings, and good baseball players is another attracting thing to any college baseball player that not only wants to go to the College World Series and win a national championship, but play at the next level in professional baseball. So we're getting a lot of support from a lot of people, and the environment with which they choose to go on that journey is unparalleled, in my opinion. So, and with weather like this, why would you go anyplace else?
So George, in year 3, how do things change, or do you approach, say, the first few weeks of February the same as you did in years 1 and 2, or are you going to kind of hit the ground running because guys have been here before?
Well, we're a little farther along when we started in January, and that's because of a quality fall, because of upperclassmen that have mentored the newcomers and made the learning curve go by very quickly. And so as far as systems and teaching and how we do things, we're way ahead of the curve for the first 2 years. But as a coach, each and every year, it's pretty much the same. You know, you want to do basic things very, very well, and you want to make sure everybody's slowed down and comfortable. And we try to keep our eye on the right target. The right target isn't expectations or rankings. It's about today and practice today and getting better. And you know, if we do our job and we become the best baseball team we can be, and we are good enough, then those kind of rankings and trips to Omaha and hosting regionals and super regionals will take care of themselves. And so I hate to steal the thunder from Coach Kelly, but the process served our football team very, very well, and that's the way we go about our business. It's about the process and about the challenge of getting better on an everyday basis, and that's the target we keep our eye on.
George, what do you need to get done before the opener? What's not settled, lineup-wise or rotation?
Well, the outfield's a little still up in the air, and our center field candidates, some of them have been slow in what I would call the learning curve, and being ready to play Division I baseball, the young guys, and so the outfield's a little unsettled, and we're still looking to who's going to start at third base, and we've got about 3 or 4 candidates that are working on that, and even the pitching roles, because of some health issues and some nicks here and there, is a little up in the air. But we know who the quality guys are. We just don't know what role or order that they're going to pitch in at this point. So.
Catching was something in the fall you were really looking at, especially with Jack moving there. Where do you come out?
Jack's our first string catcher right now, Jack Martyr, and we suspected he might be a spectacular defender back there with his instincts and hands and physical skill set, and sure enough, he said to us that he is our best catcher, and that isn't by default. It may have been in years past, but we've got some catching depth that's quality. Some of them are youngsters that haven't quite taken the rough edges off, so to speak, and some of the system things and defensive things. And so the 2 catchers would be Jack Martyr, and then he's being pushed by Brett Hambright, who's a junior college player. Not that we're down on Stephen Sable or Aaron Jones or the other guys, but Jack has kind of won the job there, and to start the season, he'll be our first string catcher.
Is Sable going to enter into that outfield?
Sable's playing a little outfield, a little third base, and we're trying to get his bat in there, and he's really coming on of late and feels like to us, he's relaxing and starting to play like Stephen Sable's capable of playing, and it's going to be a hard guy to keep out of the batting order for sure.
How much did last year help, do you think, having such a turnaround year from the first year, being in the tournament, getting a taste of that?
Well, I hope it doesn't distract us or keep us away from motivating us to do more significant things. That's the negative side of being successful. Is I don't think anybody in my camp satisfied with the fact that we won 40 games and played in a regional last year. We like to hang our hat on the fact that we didn't win that regional and felt like we were capable of winning that regional. And so there'll be no more satisfaction from us to winning 40 games or going to a regional. Now it's a matter of winning more than 40 games, winning a Pac-10 championship, hosting regionals, hosting super regionals, being successful, and winning a national championship. Anything less than that in this program from here on in is going to be a disappointment.
What have you done to improve the offense for this season?
Well, we recruited some really good guys, and all the kids that played a lot for us last year, a year older. And the one thing that I don't like on paper right now in our order is we're with our best defensive lineup out there, we might be a little too right-handed, and there's always in college baseball, when you have significant left-handed hitters in your batting order and a mix of that, you seem to have better consistency to the offense. So I guess we're not quite as athletic as we need to be, base stealing wise and base running wise, and we potentially could be real right-handed. I don't like that very much, but if we had Alex Rodriguez and Joe DiMaggio alternating in the batting order and they were right-handed, we'd feel okay with that. So it isn't a huge problem. It isn't an insurmountable problem, but in college baseball, because of the right-handed slider ball pitcher, most years you're more consistent when you have influential left-handed hitters in the lineup, and right now it didn't look like we're going to have that.